Hey, welcome back to the Explainer. Today, we're going right to the very heart of language itself. I mean, we are talking about the two fundamental building blocks of every single sentence you say, read, or write. These are the subject and the predicate. And trust me, once you get this, you unlock the secret to super clear, really powerful communication. So let's jump in.
So let me start by asking you a question. What's really the difference between just a jumble of words and a sentence that, actually makes sense? What is it that gives a sentence that feeling of being a complete thought? Okay, check this out. On the left, we have lives in a big house. It just kind of hangs there, doesn't it? You're immediately asking, wait, who lives in a big house? But then look at the right side. Manisha lives in a big house. Ah, that feels whole. It's a complete idea, and that's because it has both of its crucial parts.
And that right there is the big secret. Every single complete sentence has two main parts. For now, let's think of them in simple terms. The naming part, which you guessed it, names who or what we're talking about, and the telling part, which tells us what's going on.
And here we can see it in action. People from all nations. Boom, that's our naming part. It answers the question who. Then you've got go to see the Eiffel Tower. That's the telling part. It tells us what they do. You put them together, and bam, you get one clear, complete thought.
So let's zoom in on that first piece, the naming part. The fancy grammar word for this is the subject. Its whole job is super simple. It just points to the person, place, thing, or idea that the entire sentence is about. So, to put an official label on it, the subject tells us who or what the sentence is about. Usually it's a noun, like a person's name, or what's called a noun phrase, which is just a little group of words that all act together like a single noun.
In our first example, the subject is as simple as it gets. It's just one word, Manisha. The whole sentence is about her, nice and clean.
But hey, it doesn't have to be just one word. Look at this one. The subject is a tall tree. We need all three of those words to get the full picture, right? That is a perfect example of a noun phrase working as the subject.
Okay, so we've got the who or what totally figured out. Now let's switch gears to the second half, the telling part, which is officially known as the predicate. This is where all the action happens. It tells us what the subject is up to.
The predicate's job is to tell us something about the subject. But look closely here, because this slide gives away the secret for finding it every single time. The predicate always begins with a verb. Remember that. That one rule is your secret key.
Seriously, this is the ultimate hack for breaking down any sentence. Step 1, find the verb. The action word. Step 2, the verb and every single word that comes after it. Guess what? That's your predicate. It's really that simple.
Let's give it a try. In this sentence, what's the action word? Presented. Bingo. That's our verb. So the verb presented and everything that follows, an excellent speech, that whole chunk is the predicate. It tells us exactly what the girl did.
All right, you've totally got the basics down. Level 1 is complete. So, are you ready to level up? Let's look at a couple of situations where things can get a little bit tricky, kind of like the curveballs language likes to throw at us.
First up are compound subjects. So, what happens when a sentence is about more than one thing? Like here, we're not just talking about the tiger, and we're not just talking about the lion. The sentence is about both of them. So the whole phrase, the tiger and the lion, works together as one big subject.
Let's do one more just to lock it in. The sentence is about two things again, joined by and. So, the table and chair, that's our subject. And the rest of the sentence, starting with that verb are, is the predicate. See how that works?
Okay, now for challenge number 2. Take a look at this sentence. Brush your teeth. It's a command. We can totally see the action. Brush your teeth. So that has to be the predicate.
But hold on a second. Who's doing the brushing? There's no person, no noun at the beginning of the sentence. Where on earth did the subject go? Did it just vanish?
And here is the big reveal. In any command, what's also called an imperative sentence, the subject is always you. It isn't written down, but it's understood. When someone says brush your teeth, what they really mean is you brush your teeth. The subject is just implied. Sneaky, right?
So here's a quick little cheat sheet for those curveballs. For a compound subject, just look for 2 or more nouns connected with and. Easy. And for any command, the subject is always, always, always the implied you.
Now, I know you might be thinking, okay, this grammar stuff is interesting, but why does it actually matter in the real world? Well, it matters a ton, because understanding these building blocks is how you go from just knowing rules to being a truly clear and powerful communicator.
Think about it. When you really get subjects and predicates, you stop writing those confusing, choppy sentence fragments. You make sure your ideas are actually understood the way you want them to be. You start to write and speak with so much more clarity and purpose, because you're in complete control of the very foundation of your sentences.
So from now on, you're not just going to see sentences, you're going to see the architecture behind them. You have the fundamental building blocks of language right in your hands. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with them?